our local Las Vegas. Fox 5 News starts now.
Nevada ranks last in the nation when it comes to our children's mental health.
Now a new initiative seeks to resolve the problem by creating a new generation of professionals. Senate Bill 165 creates a new pathway for mental health professionals to get their degrees while actively working in the system. Today, a coalition of lawmakers and educators came together with the Las Vegas ACES Foundation to launch that pathway. It will offer degree programs, internships, and scholarships to build Nevada's behavioral health workforce. Right now, aspiring psychologists and social workers need to leave the state to get the education that they need to actively practice. This program aims to get them practicing right here in Nevada.
This allows us to work from two directions. This allows us to have people who can support before the crises grow, right? And who can give skills before the crises grow and hopefully head them off so that the kids and families don't get more distress.
Officials hope that as the number of mental health professionals rises, so will the state's mental health and well-being rankings. The program is already recruiting for its child psychology internship program.